Yeah, well, I grew up in a family, all Democrats, of course. One of those things where you don't ask, don't tell. So I just did what everybody else did and kind of grew up understanding some of those things were kind of like subliminal. And so if daddy was a Democrat, mom, that means that we all are Democrats. But as I came back from the war, and began to walk out my faith in some things. And then I got called into ministry. I started seeing some of the differences as far as what I preach, what I believe, and then how I vote. And it came into some conflict, but the conflict wasn't with God. The conflict wasn't with God. It was with me. And as a man of faith, what do I really truly believe? And some will try to separate, politics from church, separate some church and state. But for me, I've come to the realization that politics is a part of everything you do. And so you can't live this way on Sundays and then vote this way on Tuesday. They got to come together and agree. And I saw that nothing against my family or anyone. I love my family. I love them. But when I made the decision to and I'm a conservative anyway, but I saw that conservative values were more on the Republican side than on the Democrat side. And I made the switch somewhere around 2006, 2007. Got some people disappointed. What are you doing? Are you crazy or something? I just gotta say it like I feel it. But they say black folks shouldn't be Republicans. We heard Biden say, Vice President Biden say that if you're not black, if you don't vote Democrat, if you're not black, if you don't vote Democrat. Okay, so we decided a few years back, 2017-18, to put together a coalition that would focus on the moral values of our nation. When President Donald Trump, he became president in 2016, we saw a very wide door open up for conservative values, and especially for the Christian church, for the body of Christ. And that's not to say, and again, freedom of religion, our First Amendment, we saw a wide door that anybody who wanted to really live a high moral ground, the platform was there to do it with this administration. And so we began to do our due diligence and to start to address the things that most people in this nation, I believe, are concerned about. Of course, our living life. I think President Donald Trump is probably the most pro-life president that we've ever had. I really believe the people voted. They voted their voice, and that was for the candidate that would represent them in the 4th Congressional District. Now, whatever happened on November 3rd, we don't know everything that happened, but we're looking at and keeping all of our options open to what happened. I haven't conceded, and so we're leaving our options open. No nation, especially America, should want to see what happened to our president and across the board in this election, to want to see this happen where we felt like our vote did not count. Yes. and that legal votes did not count, but illegal votes did. I don't think any nation would want to see that, and I'm just really very convinced that President Trump, that he did win, that he did win. Right? Yeah, he won by a landslide, and that might have also affected everything down ballot wise as well. But to see this going on right now, I'm hoping that the patriots around this nation would wake up and be stirred up right now to say this cannot happen in America, and that they should be on edge right now and vocal and calling their legislators and calling and finding out what really went on. And this must be fixed, because if this doesn't get fixed, what else is there going to be to look forward to in our nation if we can't have free and just and fair elections? Yeah, well, we don't want anyone to lose hope right now. There are still several pathways that our president can win. He already won. We know he won, but the pathways to verify and to clear up that he did, there's still several pathways. One being, of course, we got the Senate coming up, meeting with the Congress and the electors, and that we pray that our legislators would do the right thing and choose the electors that will give President Trump the electoral votes that he needs. We also have Vice President Mike Pence. I'm hoping everybody would pray for Vice President Mike Pence right now, because he has a big responsibility coming up on January 6th as well, to either reject or accept the electors. And then we have cases still pending in the Supreme Court that are being now looked at. Oh my goodness, this is some amazing things that's happening now, and so the pathways are still open up, but we need to pray. We need everyone to not lose heart, to not give up. Don't throw in the towel right now. It's not over. It's not over, and so we need everyone to be praying. We need everyone to be more engaged. Of course, call your legislators. And I know some of you are saying, well, my legislator probably doesn't want to hear from me. It doesn't matter. Call them anyway and tell them, do the right thing on January 6th. Do the right thing. This is not a Republican or Democrat thing anymore. This is about our republic. This is about our way of life. And if anyone knows what could happen if it goes the other way, they would be petrified. They should be terrified that our nation could end up going a whole different way, and we don't want that to happen. So I'm encouraging everyone, don't lose heart. Everything is still on the table, and I believe that President Trump is going to be inaugurated on January 20th.
Great. Great to see you have such a strong courage and confidence too. And so you mentioned about in this process is American people making the choice, the way of American life, or maybe you go for socialism, and it's safeguarding the U.S. institution and constitution as well. And so in this process, and many people sometimes lose their hope, is because they feel the miracle that they pray for didn't happen. And so people start to be whining, people start to complain, even, maybe complain to God. So if people in this kind of mood, what would you say to them?
Well, I have to give them, to encourage them, basically what the Bible said. And in Matthew 3 and verse 14, it talks about Jesus coming from Galilee unto John to be baptized. But John forbade him. He says, I have need to be baptized of thee, and you come to me? And Jesus answered unto him, and this is the key. This is the key for America right now. Jesus said to John, even though Jesus knew he was the Son of God, he said, suffer it to be so now. Suffer it to be so now. Thus it becometh us to fulfill all righteousness. See, it's not just up to President Donald Trump. It's up to us to fulfill all righteousness. Right and fair elections. A right to prosperity. A right to freedom of religion. a right to choose our educational paths. All of these is up to us. And even though John said, Jesus, you could take care of this right now all by yourself. And he said, no, John, I can't do this all by myself. And that's why we need everyone to pray for Trump and Vice President Mike Pence. It is not just up to them. It's not just up to them. Yes, they have a big part to play in all of this, but it is like Jesus told John the Baptist, it is up to us. And what has happened in America, the walls have been taken down of protection that we need from foreign interference. And we've seen what China has done in intellectual property that they have taken from us, and infiltrating our institutions, and being able and this is not something that happens overnight. They are very patient and they're in it for the long haul. So to infiltrate, we have been infiltrated, not with guns, not with knives and bombs, but we've been infiltrated ideologically. We've been infiltrated economically. We've been infiltrated by even those who would sell us out as Americans. We've been infiltrated. We have to build those up, and that means tougher sanctions on China to let them know that we're serious about protecting and having an America first policy. Then that's what we have to do. It also means locking down on technology that may be stealing our vital information. We have to secure our information. So this is a national security issue as well. And China looks like they have had no problem breaking security protocols. So we need an administration that's not going to sell out to China, as we've been seeing that some looks like they've been in the bed with China. We need to make sure that we have a strong defense and to build up those walls again of protection so that we can rebuild. And we know President Trump did an awesome job his first 4 years, the highest stock market numbers, the highest employment for minorities, Asians, and Hispanics across the board, the lowest unemployment, the same thing for minorities, Hispanics, and Asians across the board. For women, highest employment for women. Yes. It's all across the board. We've seen the military restored back to fullness. We've seen policies respect again on the foreign field again. We've taken out top-heavy terrorist leaders. He's done so much, and I gotta say, like very soberly, he's done so much with so little help. He's done so much. He's accomplished so much. But I believe that this is going to be a new season where we see that he will have more help this time to get some of the other things that he wanted to address and to do. We got to believe in our process. And that's why we're asking everyone. The president, of course, has asked everyone to come out on January 6th and to show their support and their voice for fair and just elections. We need to just stand strong. We need to stand strong. It's up to us now. Just like we read here in Matthew 3 and 15. Let's not leave the president hanging. Okay? Let's not just say, well, he's strong. He's a tough cookie. He can handle the deep state all by himself. No, it's up to us now. And so the challenge right now, the ball is really in our court. So January 6th, let's show up strong. The ball is in our court. Whatever happens after that, we'll just, whatever needs to be done after that. But we got to stay confident. We got to stay strong. This is a republic. This is history right now. This is what we call the turning point. This is the crucible. And the patriots in America must stand strong. We must stand together, and we must stand united.